Do you find it hard to remain patient on your twin flame journey? Are you frustrated because union hasn't happened yet? Are you wondering, is your twin even doing the work? Sometimes we can get really frustrated the longer separation goes. But separation is preparation, and we actually really do have to trust the process. Trust what you see, the signs and synchronicities. They're telling you what's real. Trust what you feel, because this is real too. And you have to understand that we both twins need that time to process what is going on. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. Patience is one of the biggest things you're going to learn on your journey. Massively. I was the most impatient person you will ever meet. And now I have the patience of a saint. I can sit there for hours waiting. I go into a Zen state. I just have so much patience. I love it. But that was not always the case. And oftentimes when we're in separation, we're like, when is it going to happen? Why isn't it happening now? And we find it hard to trust in what we don't see. But one thing I keep saying is we need to believe in order to see, not see in order to believe. And we have to understand that any ghosting is processing. And that's it. You know, your twin isn't avoiding you because they don't want to see you. They're avoiding you because they're going through a massive overwhelm. And that's what it is. It's too much to take on, especially when the less awakened twin. Actually, to be quite honest with you, it doesn't matter whether you're the awakened twin or the less awakened twin. This shit is fucked up. It really is. It's a roller coaster. And you're literally going through this intense spiritual connection on top of healing your trauma from this life and past lives. So all the shit is hitting the fan all at once. It really is. And you're kind of wondering, oh my God, is this ever going to end? But we have to, this is one thing that we question all the time. Are they even doing the work? Do they even care? You know what I mean? Their behavior is bullshit. So you're kind of like, what the fuck? Is it even going to happen? But then you get these intense sessions, these intense kind of moments of the spiritual side of the connection, the telepathic side, those signs and synchronicities. This is when this helps us to keep that faith. And, you know, I love this because, you know, there's certain times I would feel my twin more energetically. Oh my God. And then I'll actually hear from him. You know what I mean? There was a couple of months of separation, and then prior to February, and the lead up to Valentine's Day, I was like so intensely could feel him so strongly. And we actually had a mini reunion just before Valentine's Day. So I knew that the energy was coming in. And this happened even back this actually happened at the start of, so I met him a year ago, and it took me a long time to realize that he was my twin. Because we go through that doubt, don't we? We're like, is he even my twin, or is this real? Oh my God, am I going fucking crazy? And, you know, then actually we had a gap of no communication. And the week he contacted me again, I could feel his energy again. And I was like, oh shit, maybe he is my twin. Oh my God. Do you know, that even scared me. So, you know, every little bit of communication or intense energetic transfer, that really is, it's going to put both of you in overwhelm. Because, you know, even I said this already, like, you know, when I met my twin in the physical, I've been on my twin flame journey for a few years, and I understood I was a twin flame, done so much research, done a lot of healing, and I was like, this is going to be easy. Not, you know, I fucking healed, I'm fine. I knew I wasn't fully healed, but Jesus Christ, I had about 3 or 4 fucking heart awakenings in the last year. It was tough, like. So we have to kind of trust that energetic energy. And every time we go into separation, just before he comes back in contact, I will get really, really intense, that love feeling, that ecstasy feeling, as I call it. And he will actually contact. I remember when he contacted a couple of weeks ago, I'll describe the signs, because oftentimes, we do this all the time. We ask the universe for a sign, we ask the angels for a sign, and then they give us a sign, and we're like, I want a sign here, a sign. I'm like, fuck off. Like, they're literally slapping you in the face with their name, with the repeating numbers, you know, with the word union everywhere, and you're just like, yeah, maybe not though. And I remember even being in doubt, and like, you know, I could see my twin's first name somewhere, I could see my twin's second name somewhere. And I went to this meditation, it's actually the day of my birthday, And, you know, I ended up getting lost and having to ask for directions. But I ended up outside this art centre, and outside the art centre was my twin's full name. You know what I mean? And like, I'm still looking at him going, maybe I want a sidier side. Maybe I need more proof. But just before, like, we've known each other a year now, and like that, the week prior to our anniversary, we call it, you know, I could feel his energy intense again. And I was in town and I was driving, like I was in traffic. I was hitting traffic lights. And as I was hitting traffic lights, I saw this plumber van drive past. And I really noticed the sign on it. And I was like, that's weird. Do you know what I mean? Normally I don't pay attention. And then just as that happened, I saw a car's number plate 222. And I was like, sign, okay, that's weird. So then I ended up in the next traffic light behind another plumber van, a different one. And I'm like, that's, you know, any time kind of repeating. And it's just like, yeah, that's an actual sign. Okay, that's a sign. And what was written on the number plate of this plumber van? 111. So I was like, okay, that's loud. This is loud. And then I was trying to figure out, what does plumbing mean? You know, there's 2 plumber vans here. What does plumbing do? It unblocks. And then on the sign on the plumber van, there was angel wings. And I was like, oh my God, the angels are unblocking union. And literally, I'd say about 10 or 15 minutes later, my twin actually texted me. Because I was literally going, right, sometimes you're looking for signier signs, but this is a fucking clear sign. And you can feel his energy. And he's going to text. And he actually ended up texting that day. So what I'm trying to say here is literally, we're getting bombarded with signs and synchronicities. And we're still going, yeah, but like, you know, give me something signier. And it's just like, fucking hell, will we just ever start trusting? And this is the thing. We go into separation and we're like, we freak out again. This comes back to our self-worth. This comes back to our own insecurity. We're like, will this ever happen? Then we're bombarded with signs and synchronicities from the angels and the universe. And we're still going, yeah, but. And it is that, yeah, but is all connected to what you need to heal. And we're literally kind of wondering, are they doing the healing? Are they ever going to grow? Are they ever doing this? But you have to ask yourself every single one of those questions as well. And this is the thing, we think ghosting is them rejecting us, but it's not. It's processing. It's literally giving them that space. And that's the thing. Every time there's any bit of contact, there's an activation. So therefore there's more overwhelm, and then there's a kickstart into another trigger, another round of healing. And that's what we have to understand. Like, you know, especially for example, that's for us, the more awakened twin. But our twin is going through their own awakening process. And I have to keep saying this. You know, literally I've had since 2018 a prolonged, you know, awakening experience, and I'm still going through shit, obviously, but I understand it, and it's still fucking hard. Can you imagine for somebody who was less spiritual, literally being bombarded with this random stranger, giving them these intense feelings and emotions, waking them up to their spirituality, and, you know, it's a fucking freak out, like, you know what I mean? So every time that they get proof of this connection, they're going to freak out more. And they are going to need that separation. They're going to need that time. Because, you know, even with us, like, awakened ones, what are we like, do you know what I mean, with this sign shit, like, do you know what I mean? We still need time to process, you know, and they come back and then we're like, oh, yeah, and then a trigger happens and we have to heal it. So we do have to understand that anytime we're going through something, so are they. Probably a little bit more intensely, because they mightn't have the tools that you have to do that work yet. And that's why we need to have patience. That's why we need to have compassion. And, you know, I've done this as well. Oftentimes we can get so angry and frustrated towards our twin for their behavior, and that literally creates an energetic block as well. So, you know, we're frustrated. It's mirrored behavior. So technically we're frustrated with ourselves as well. And you have to ask yourself, why am I angry with myself? Not just your twin, because you're obviously angry with them, but in effect, you're angry with yourself. Why are you angry with yourself? And for me personally, I've been angry with myself for avoiding my own healing in a sense. You know what I mean? Like sorry, I'm going through my own kind of stuff at the moment. Like, oftentimes we're listening to a lot of external advice about our twin flame connection, which can be helpful, but that can also make us avoid our own healing in a sense. So, you know, for one thing, for me personally, the whole objective is, in separation phase, give them space. Don't run, don't chase. And that's fine. I'm agreeing with that. You know, surrender 100%. But one of my biggest wounds is around owning my voice, around speaking my truth. So how the fuck do I heal my issue there if I'm not supposed to communicate? And that really fucks me up. And I think that's why I get angry with myself or him or the mirrored effect. It's because I'm literally torn between two worlds. Do I listen to external advice or do I heal my shit? And, you know, I'm avoiding healing my shit because I'm listening to external advice. And you're like, something, you know, you're so torn. And you're like, what the fuck do I do? You do what's right for you. The main objective of this connection is to do the inner healing. So when you're in this kind of limbo phase of wondering what to do what's right for you. You have to set your boundaries. You have to speak your truth. Especially if one of your wounds is that persecution wound where you've been afraid to speak up, especially in past relationships. You know, you have every right to voice your truth. And I know it's like, oh, don't chase after him, fuck off. How are you supposed to heal your witch wound if you're told to shut up all the time? And like, that's effectively, so confusing. But this is it. You have to kind of trust your process in this journey. You have to understand what you need to do for you, but you have to understand that they need to do what they need to do for them as well. So I'll say it again. Ghosting is processing. It's not rejection. You know, rejection is physically the person saying, here, fuck off, I don't like it. Not as mean as that. But that's effectively, you know, that's what rejection is saying, here, this is over, goodbye. Whereas in actual fact, what this is processing, it's preparation, it's for you to keep the faith. And this is it. Well, sometimes we get so bombarded with doubt and fear that we just don't know what to believe. We don't know what to do. And then something comes in that reminds us of the truth and we're like, oh, and then it's fleeting because we still have so much to heal. So like, we need to use this time to literally reflect on what we need to do as well. Instead of continuously wondering what they're doing or not doing, ask yourself what you're doing or not doing. What are you avoiding? What do you need to do for you? Because your healing will heal them, but your healing is the most important part of this whole thing. And if you're avoiding your healing because you're not supposed to do something on this journey, forget that for a minute. Do what's right for you. Do what you feel called to do. If this is a part of your healing, as I said, using my voice is a part of my healing. So therefore, I have to speak up. If I don't do that, that's me not healing that wound. It's just, you know, and that's the torn part that I've had. It's just like, listen to the advice or avoid listening to the voice means I avoid my wound. And it's just, it doesn't make sense. So if there's kind of confusion like that for you, trust your inner guidance. That's the main objective here. Trust what you feel is right for your journey. Because there is no wrong moves in your twin flame connection. Because no matter if you feel you've done the wrong, it's not a wrong move. Because every little thing will activate a trigger for healing. And that's a fact. Whether it triggers you or it'll trigger both of you at the same time, I'm sure. Do you know, because they're that mirrored energy. So remember that. Every little thing that you do or don't do is effectively the right thing for your journey. And that's a fact. It's your unique journey. Yes, the advice externally can be very helpful. I mean, 5D advice, not from the wrong people, obviously. But like other twin flames advice is helpful because we're all interconnected. We're all going through the same thing. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to your unique experience. So do what feels right for you. Trust the process and trust that ghosting is processing and separation is preparation. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I'd love nothing more than to help you on your path.